Hi, this is Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, the President, Founder, and Chief Listening Officer here at our network at USA Global TV and Radio. Thank you so much for your loyalty. Thank you so much to all of our guests, to our team members, to our sponsors, and to all of our elevated listeners. Here at USA Global TV and Radio, we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. We celebrate all of our team members, all of our guests, and all of our sponsors from around the world who come and lead their lives with their hearts to help other people walk into their greatness. If you'd like to be a guest on any of our shows, please go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and book your session. Please contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com and subscribe to our channel. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the power of etiquette and manners. And joining me is the star of our show. He is the founder and principal of the British School of Excellence. Let's welcome Mr. Philip Sykes to the show. Hello.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. How are you?
It's Friday, so I'm happy to see you and just excited about this conversation we're going to have today. And as I mentioned to you backstage, I see so many ways for us to collaborate together to help bring value to people around the world. So thank you again for being part of this journey.
It's a true pleasure. It really is to be a part of this amazing platform, to have got to know you over the last year and a bit. And I'm just excited to see how everything unfolds in the future. Just the future holds great things, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Can you share with our audience, Philip, for the people joining us for the first time, what you do there at the British School of Excellence, what people can expect when they sign up?
Certainly. Thank you for this opportunity, and hello to anyone and everyone wherever you are in the world. Here at the British School of Excellence, formerly the British School of Etiquette, we focus on giving you the tools to feel more confident in any given situation. That is really the summary of it. So whether it be you are interviewing, whether it be you are showing up for work, you are engaging with your loved ones, it's all about being consistent as a human being. And this is what this is all about. So the power of etiquette and manners, along with our emotional intelligence, is really the key to life. It genuinely and really is. And I think there are a lot of us out there who might think, oh, it's for posh people and things like that. But one could not be further from the truth. On the contrary, it really is for everybody and anybody. I've always maintained that you can come from the poorest part of any country, and if you enhance and encourage yourself to learn the importance of etiquette and manners, and you are consistent with your behavior, doors will open for you wherever you go in the world. And that I truly believe, and it's a known fact because I've witnessed it through my life. At the organization, we've got various programs for children, for teenagers, for late teens who are finishing university and going for their first job, their first internship, right through to our various programs. And the oldest person that stepped through the doors here at the organization, at the British School of Excellence, was 78 years old, who really had this innate passion and wanted to continue the rest of her life focusing on working with children. And boom, she found us, came on Train the Trainer, and that is exactly what she's doing. So from us here at the British School of Excellence, please do look us up on our website, which is thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. And if you would like any further details or anything like that at all, email hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com.
Fantastic. Thank you, Philip. I thought it might be beneficial if we took a look at your website. Maybe we could walk through and show people what it is you're actually offering. How do you feel about that?
Very much so. It would be lovely if you could bring that in to play. That would be wonderful.
Absolutely. I have it pulled up here. So I'm over here on the website. So just let me know where I should go.
Anywhere, really. I mean, For those who are sort of wanting to dip their toe in the water, we've got an e-learning platform which would be under etiquette training, and a drop-down menu will come into play, and almost near the bottom there's an e-learning, the e-learning courses. We've got four currently available. There are more in the pipeline for the early part of this year. And then there are interactive courses which are live either via Zoom, or you can attend a program live in person. And on the 15th of February, we're doing a live coaching program for a group of teenagers, and I believe there's still spaces left on that. It'll be out of Mayfair, London, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. In Mayfair, London, where we will be working with incredible young teenagers who really understand the importance of etiquette and manners, or should I say their mums and dads are very keen for them to attend. And then in the beginning of June, we're going to be doing an amazing program for mums and daughters. Mums and daughters are going to come along and spend some time with us in the classroom, in the lecture room. And I just want everyone out there to understand that this is not a list of do's and don'ts. We really get down to the psychology, we get down to how the heart and the head are connected, and how we as human beings can show up by putting our best foot forward on a regular and a daily basis.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's go back over to the website here. And what about this Train the Trainer program? Can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. And again, for any of you out there, if you are interested in changing people's lives and making a huge difference in this world, our Train the Trainer is world class, and don't take it from me. There are many wonderful past alumni who've made the effort to record a video and share feedback, which is open to the public to watch. And on this program here, it's an accredited program by ILM City and Guilds, the CPD, which is the Continued Professional Development Consortium, as well as the British School of Excellence certification. And this program is 5 days. It is an intense program, but wonderful. You will come in one person, and by the 5th and final day, you will come out a completely different person, for the better, that is. And when we open our door here at our organization, we keep that door open. So all the students that have come through the programs can reach out to us at any time and get further guidance, further steering. And we want to see success. We want to make sure that anyone who comes through any of the programs, and I'm going to specifically talk about Train the Trainer, we have got incredible alumni all over the world who we continuously support, and it's global. It is a global opportunity for you to come through the program and change people's lives. Give them your experience and give them the passion that you have within to help them grow and to succeed.
Fantastic. And do you have any courses coming up soon?
Actually, Monday, we've got starting our first Train the Trainer of January of 2023, and we've got an eclectic, wonderful eclectic group of people joining us. As always, I love it. It's as one of our dear colleagues, Leanne, says, it's like the League of Nations that joins in on our Train the Trainer program, and it's just the most wonderful opportunity to connect with like-minded people and to give yourself that boost of huge confidence to be able to take this wherever you go. And there are some spaces left. I know it's a short notice, and with all due respect, one doesn't just wake up one morning and say, today I'm going to go and do a Train the Trainer program, or I want to become involved in etiquette and life skills and emotional intelligence. You've got to be planning this and preparing this. It's an amazing life-changing opportunity. So that course starts then. And what else have we got? We've just finished the Polished Professional, which went off very well. It was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. I've had some private coaching clients in the last few weeks. Earlier this week, I had the privilege of working with two professors who work for the LSE, very dynamic, hugely intellectual, and they came through a day's program together, which the feedback has just been exponential. And a few weeks ago, I had the privilege of working and engaging with an amazing woman all the way from Athens, who has the most beautiful energy and incredible open heart, and really loves working with people and changing their lives. So the opportunity in this industry, in this sector, is just colossal. Never more so now than ever before has there been a need for we as human beings to go out there and help one another. And really focus on our youngsters, focus on our teenagers, because they are the future. If we instill amazing qualities and the power of etiquette and manners and emotional intelligence into our youngsters from early on, can you imagine what the future could look like? And there's been a big disconnect over the last 15, 20 years between technology and teenagers and people growing up. It's a different world, and technology and the world has moved fast in the last 15, 20 years. And that I don't believe we were fully prepared for. We've got to take it in our stride, and accepting change is good. But the one thing that is fundamental is our human qualities, our human interaction and connection.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And as you know, because we've discussed this before, the graduates, the alumni that you have from your organization are truly people that are at the highest level of integrity and emotional intelligence. And I just can't say enough about what you're doing, what you and your team are doing.
And we've got such wonderful guests lined up for this year. Definitely going to be an exciting journey with the quality and the caliber of people that will come onto this incredible platform and add huge value in the world out there through this incredible channel, through USA Global TV. We'll be able to connect and get to understand what this is all about and the people behind the people behind everything that sort of adds value to life.
Yes, here to that. I'm looking forward to meeting more of your wonderful graduates and alumni. So thank you again. I wanted to have us have a discussion today about when it comes to etiquette matters for presenting. And I've reached out to you. I've got a course coming up about how to be a professional interviewer and broadcaster. You're going to be a part of that. So what is it that we need to know when it comes to etiquette matters and presenting? Because we're presenting right now on TV, but people are presenting on Zoom for a meeting, or they're showing up for something where they're connecting, and people are making a decision about them pretty quickly. What are your thoughts?
Oh, that's a big question, and one that has quite a short answer. Whether we like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it is a few seconds, boom, and someone is going to make a judgment call on you. They're going to assess you just through the way you present yourself. And I know we shouldn't judge people. We shouldn't. It's something that we, as an organization, we try to explain to people not to judge. But on the other side of the coin, whether we like it or not, people do judge. And so the moment you walk in through a door for an interview, or the moment you open your Zoom camera, someone is going to judge you. And so everything that we do really requires a huge amount of preparation. Don't just throw clothing on. It looks like you just got ready for the sake of it. You need preparation. I prepare every single day according to how my day is planned. And I show up making sure that I look on my A game, I feel on my A game. So it's not just about what we wear, it's how we're feeling within as well. It's all about, you talk about presentation, you talk about presenting from the front of the room. There are tools that we deliver that we encourage people to take on board and practice before you engage in any particular environment. And one of the fundamental aspects of this journey is what's in your head can affect the shape of your body, and what's the shape of your body is doing can affect what's going on in your head and how you perform. So there are so many integral linkages to how we connect and present ourselves. It's not just the beautiful clothing we might put on. There's so many little dots to join. And this takes practice. Don't try and wing it, because by winging it, even if you might feel, or you may even have the gift of the gab, practice preparation and practice. And that is the key to going into any sort of situation, whether it be a meeting in your own organization with another organization, whether it be going for an interview in person or an interview online. Be on your A game. It could even be a telephone interview. Dress the part, because your mindset will be in the zone. You will feel strong and good about yourself. Dress the part, and never forget you are always being observed, and never forget everything is down to the attention to detail.
So important. And I want to just comment on something that you said. I have found that if I am not dressed and I am sitting at the table doing my work or whatever it is, I just don't feel the same amount of energy. Even though there's no one there to see me, I have to get dressed so I'm ready to be at my best. And I know you feel the same.
100%. 100%. Look, I don't dress like this every day. If I'm working at my desk, and I take my blazer off, I have an open collar shirt. But I do make sure that I've got an iron shirt on. Obviously, all my clothing has been ironed, and touch wood, I can afford to clean my clothing. Some people might not be in that position, but I'm talking about just how do we show up. And by the way, this is not designer clothing and designer brands, by the way. It is on the contrary. It's actually what colors fit you, what shape your body is. And a little story I'd like to share, which I may have shared before. So any of you out there listening, humor me on this one. Many, many years ago, when I'd sold a restaurant in South Africa, which is one of the top restaurants out of Cape Town. And this is going back to 1993, 94. I sold the restaurant in 97, and I came back to the United Kingdom. And I wanted to leave hospitality for a short period. I wanted to get out of restaurants. And in those days, I had a friend who worked for an employment agency, and she said to me, well, I can get you a job, a foot in the door within a bank. And I scratched my head and I said, crumpets, oh my hat, getting involved in a bank, that's the furthest thing I've never thought along those lines. And she said, look, it's going to be a menial job, but you'll get a few weeks banking experience, and then you can elevate up the tiers. So I realized that I needed a suit, and I'd arrived in the country with not a huge amount of money. And I went along to our local charity shop where I was staying in a digs up near Holland Park, a lovely area. And I went to a cancer charity shop around the corner from my digs. And I walked into this charity shop. And for those of you outside of the UK, here in the United Kingdom, we have the most wonderful charity shops. Every town has a charity shop, or many. And the amount of wonderful clothing you can find is extraordinary. Anyway, off I go into the charity shop. And we have a brand here called Marks and Spencer's. It's like I would imagine, a Macy's, that style of shop, something along those lines. And on the peg was a beautiful blue Marks and Spencer suit. Nothing flash, nothing hugely expensive. And I put it on, and it was perfectly on the cuffs here. The trousers were a little bit long, so they needed hemming. And the blazer, the part of the suit, was definitely a little bit large for me around the girth. So I bought it, and I think all of the equivalent of £5, so about $8. And I took it around the corner to a seamstress, an amazing Indian woman, who did a nip and a tuck down the back. She pinned the trousers. She said, come back in 2 days, I'll have it ready for you. And when I got back, I tried it on, and I promise you, I felt like James Bond. It looked so amazing. And I thought, wow. And every time I wore that suit, people would stop me and say, that's a beautiful suit. Where did you get it made? Or did you have that tailored for you? Or where did you get it from? And I invested in 2 or 3 other suits in exactly the same way. The total investment for the suit and the alteration was the equivalent of about $20. And obviously I had to go and get a few shirts from Marks and Spencer, some socks and some black shoes. But I stood out for the right reasons. People would stop me, and they would comment and they would compliment. So for those of you out there, it's how do we show up? And it's not about throwing money at the problem. We can all absolutely, with very little investment, make a big splash and a big wow.
Thank you so much for your transparency. That is a great story. I appreciate that. And I'll also be transparent as well. For many years, a long time ago, I was only interested in designer clothes, and I only wanted designer clothes that nobody else would have. So if they had a whole rack of a dress and they had however many, I didn't want it. I wanted, maybe there were 8 altogether, and I wanted to have one of those. And as I got older, I started thinking to myself, this is such a waste of money. It's ridiculous. Like now I have these beautiful shoes. I don't wear high heels because I'm standing here all day long, and then I go to the gym. So my point is, I started going to secondhand stores. I started going on Amazon and looking for designer dresses that they had for $20, brand new with the tags. It comes with the tags, $500 and some dollars. I got it for $20. So you couldn't pay me to spend the money that I used to spend years ago. And it's actually, I think, sustainable fashion when you buy from the secondhand stores. It's giving life, new life to the clothing, to the garments, and you can still look phenomenal.
Absolutely. And the thing is, look for quality, because when you get quality, it lasts. It absolutely does last. You can 100% get 4 or 5 different items of clothing and mix and match, and you can create about 10 or 15 or 20 different looks and outfits. So be creative about it. And for those of you out there who really do struggle to sort of have the confidence to choose bits of clothing for yourself, then employ or take on board an image consultant or someone who can guide you and steer you. Take on board a person who has the authority, who understands your complexion and what colors would suit you. They take you on an amazing journey of, matching you with a color wheel, and it does make an impact. It gives you that confidence. And for Pete's sake, please don't take a friend along to say, what I look like in this, because how many of us have bought something, a friend said, we love that on you. You've taken it home, hung it in your wardrobe, and it's still got the label on 6 months or a year later.
Or even worse, it's on a piece of furniture that you have somewhere in your house. It's just hanging there. Yeah. So at your organization, do you have anyone who can help people with styling?
We've got the most incredible woman from France, Elsa. She's appeared on USA Global TV with Dr. JACALYN. She's an absolute master at her art. She's always learning, always taking herself on various courses, not just in the fashion sector, but in mindset, in motivation, in goal setting. It's not just about how you put the clothing on and the color choices. She's got so much more depth to her profession, and she really is outstanding. And the beautiful thing about Elsa, she really genuinely listens to your wants, needs, and desires, and then she'll make recommendations accordingly. So again, if anyone's interested, please do send us a message on hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com, and we'd be more than happy to guide you and steer you.
Thank you, Philip. And I love what you've been sharing today. I want to go back to something that you touched on earlier, and that's about children. It's about teenagers. Sometimes I think we don't really give the time and effort to teach young people about etiquette and manners. And then we get to be older and realize that, wow, I wish I'd known that when I was younger. So tell us about the work that you do with young people.
It's innate. I don't know. I just get so welled up with emotion here with youngsters. I have 3 beautiful children of my own, ranging from an 8-year-old to nearly 16-year-old and a nearly 19-year-old, 2 girls and a little boy. And I've seen their development over the years because they've had me and the family guiding them and steering them, and obviously the schools they go to. It's not just the parents, it's the people we surround ourselves with that's really, really important to guide and steer our children. Back in, if you look at Africa, it takes a village to raise a child. Again, if you give any woman a task, educate a woman, she'll educate a village, with all due respect. Men go off and do their things, that's fair enough. But at the end of the day, you look at the old school approach to raising children, it was a village approach. It wasn't just the parents. But here at our organization, I truly believe that we do need to invest in our teenagers, and it starts before teenagers, way before, and bring in that consistency of etiquette and manners, politeness, good behavior. And I don't believe in shouting or ranting and raving. There are different ways to guide and steer our children, and that comes from repetition. You've got to be exceptionally patient. I don't think anyone gives you a guidebook on how to parent, really. I mean, there are books on it, but every child and every human being is different. So again, in the organization, we focus very much going into the emotional intelligence of individuals and understanding that everyone likes to be dealt with and treated differently. So the moment we understand that, the more we can connect and engage with one another. And it's something, I'm glad you raised this, Dr. JACALYN, because it was on, I think it might have been Tuesday, when I was going in to work with this lovely couple who, as I mentioned, are in the medical field, and they're both professors, and they work with human behavior and psychology and that sort of thing. And I very rarely pick up a newspaper. And as I was standing on the tube, I just looked over my shoulder, and to the right of me there was someone reading a newspaper. And the article was along the lines of how teenagers and chimpanzees are being compared in their decision making, in the sense that actually teenagers nowadays are more likely to take a bigger risk than a chimpanzee would. And it's quite a scary sort of phenomenon, the fact that we as human beings, who are obviously at the top of the food chain, have this process within us as teenagers. We are riskier, we don't think things through, whereas a chimpanzee would hesitate to make a few decisions. And I thought that was absolutely fascinating. I don't have the full article here in front of me, but I'm more than happy to share it with you, Dr. JACALYN, and we can maybe post it.
Yes, I think that would be a fantastic idea, because that's what we're all about here: education and information, hope and inspiration.
Absolutely. You know, Dr. JACALYN, I know time runs away with us quickly, but on Monday, do you know what Monday was? It was International Compliment Day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How was that? International Compliment Day. And talking of teenagers, next week, we're talking of mental health days. Mental Health Week is next week. And this is something that we all need to pay major attention to. There are just too many people in this world right now, and I think more so than ever before, that are struggling, that need guidance, that need a lot of steering, they need a lot of nurturing, they need a lot of comfort, they need a lot of love, they need a lot of understanding. They need to be heard, they need to be listened to, so that we can guide them and steer them.
For sure. Well, may I just give you a compliment that you look very dashing today?
Likewise, I love the red. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that is the right thing to do, is just say thank you. You do not need to say, oh, this old blazer, oh, thank you so much. Or, oh, this red dress, I picked it up at Macy's, or I picked it up, oh, yeah, serious, just say thank you. Wow, boom, you made my day. As long as that compliment is genuine.
Why do we do that? I do that all the time. I don't know why, because then you're taking the compliment away almost. It's like someone's doing you a kindness and you're taking it back and saying, oh, no, I don't deserve this kindness.
We do deserve. If you really show up and someone notes, like, let's say, Dr. JACALYN, you just had your nails beautifully done, and I notice, wow, your nails are looking stunning. Love the color you've chosen. There's a genuine compliment. Say, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I love the color myself. Or I chose the color because we're coming into, hopefully, spring in the near future. It's been wretchedly cold here in the United Kingdom, and I think spring is unfortunately a few months away. But take a compliment and own it. And when we give a compliment, it helps us internally and mentally and emotionally to elevate ourselves beautifully. It really and truly does.
So the only thing we should say is just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I so appreciate you noticing, or that you made my day. Thank you. Something that resonates with you. It can make someone's day. And it really, really does. And I tell you, when you do receive a compliment, you might just get a little glow around you. You might even feel semi-embarrassed, but that's okay. It's own it, just embrace it. And a couple of months ago, I was popping over to your beautiful part of the world, and I love wearing a blazer, open collared shirt, and I always love a pair of red longs, or a pair of, as you call them in the United States, pants, but we call them trousers. And I love red socks, and I always make an effort with my pocket hanky. And as I'm stepping on board a Virgin aircraft, the two wonderful crew members looked at me and said, wow, look at you. You look fantastic. I wish more clients would make an effort to dress as beautifully as you. And I felt like I floated onto that aircraft. It was such an amazing feeling. I didn't get the upgrade though.
You know, I appreciate that story. Yesterday, I went to work out at the same place that I go. Everybody knows where it is, Solid Core. And this woman who was a few machines down, she came over and she said, you know, I was next to you yesterday and you're so strong and you motivated me so much that I'm moving over to be next to you today. And I was just like, oh my gosh, but I was embarrassed at the same time. And I started going, well, thanks, I appreciate it, but blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know why. I just started going down that path. So I think maybe we do it because I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's insecurity that we don't want the light put on us, so to speak.
Yeah, I think I know we need to take ownership on this, because there are a few little messages in what you just shared there. Is firstly, you, whether we like it or not, we are an influence on other people, and hopefully a good influence. We are also hopefully mentoring people, and we don't even know it. So we've got to show up, and we've just got to accept the fact that if we focus and we put our best foot forward each and every single day, we need to respect that. And I think this is where, appreciating that self-love, appreciating the fact that, hey, someone's noticed, and that is, you're not doing it for someone else, but someone's acknowledged you. Someone's really, you've made their day, or you've caught their eye, and something sparked. There's an energy and something that kicks in, and we click. And that is a huge bit of a flattering compliment, Dr. Jacqueline. The fact is because you take your workout so seriously, you take your fitness, your health so seriously. You're not just doing it because you think, oh, crumbs, I've got nothing better to do. You're maintaining a lifestyle, and and definitely as we get older in this world, we've got to take care of ourselves more and more and more. And for someone to come over and pay you that compliment, just take ownership of it and say, oh, I'm flattered, thank you so much. I really love what I do, and if I can help you in any way, boom, what a pleasure. And this is where one of the sentences we get every student, no matter what age, to write down is, one person, one opportunity can change your life for the rest of your life. Why? Because you showed up. Why? Because you made that effort. Why? Because you put your best foot forward. Why? Because you stood out. And then on the other side of the coin, you are the change. You are the change for other people. And you may not even know that, but it's fundamental we take ownership of this.
Philip, a question I have for you as a follow-up to that is, if someone gives you a compliment, do you then turn around and give them the compliment? So, you look really great today. Oh, thanks. You look great today too. Whether you really thought that or not, sometimes it's just a knee-jerk reaction. What do you think?
Slow down, absorb that compliment, and if there is something to compliment someone about, then absolutely. And we came into the show almost as we started. I didn't even get a chance to compliment you on your beautiful red dress. So when you paid me my compliment, gave me the opportunity to then reciprocate genuinely. But if you don't have something genuine to say to somebody, then zip. There's no need to trip yourself up. And again, watch your compliments as well, because if I said to you, let's say that dress was a lot lower and exposing your cleavage, and I said, oh, Dr. Jacqueline, loving the dress today, looking gorgeous, that would be taken the wrong way. It would be a little bit untoward. It's the same as if you were wearing a beautiful perfume. I say, oh, that's gorgeous on you. Or I could say, that's a stunning perfume you've chosen today. If I may ask, which one is it? Because I'm sure my wife would love the smell of that too, or something along those lines. But it needs to be genuine. Don't say it for just the sake of saying it, and it will trip you up. So, for example, we've just been coaching some luxury brands this week. For example, one of the wonderful ways to connect with people, obviously, when they walk into the boutique or your shop floor, is to pay a respectful and a genuine compliment. And let's say, for example, someone saw your lovely watch, Dr. Jacqueline. If you were wearing one, love that watch, it's absolutely beautiful. Where did you acquire that from? I love watches. And they say, oh, which brand do you follow? And you go, and you've just literally said something that actually, it's a load of puff. You don't know much about watches. You just thought that would be a good way to connect with a potential client that's walked onto your premises. So compliments can also trip you up if you don't bring them in from here, your heart.
I think that's so important. And just to follow along with that, and then we have some comments, is let's say you get the compliment, you take the time to take it in, you say thank you, and then it's almost, I don't know, I felt like this. Then it's almost like there's the pressure to say something to them, because now what are you going to talk about? If you get the compliment, I love your red dress, thank you so much. And I don't say, well, I got this here, it was a gift, I decided to wear for whatever. Okay, then there's that silence. So what do you do with it?
Break into some wonderful small talk off the back of the compliment. How has your day been today? Or how are you? It's lovely to see you. Or we haven't met personally or professionally. My name is Dr. Jacqueline. Hello, my name is Philip. How are you? And we go into this wonderful conversation. We don't, and again, don't always feel that you have to immediately respond or reply, because give yourself that window, that gap. Use the pause in our communication. We don't need to be continuously talking. Think about what you could return off the back of a compliment if nothing further has come out of that compliment. Then go into some form of conversation that is simple. It's not going to trip you up. It's not personal. It's something that you can connect on. And as you will always share with people, Dr. Jacqueline, if you start off with a nice sort of simple bit of small talk, you better be prepared to listen to the person's answer and engage further off the back of that conversation that's just been started.
That's so important. Absolutely. And I want to follow up with that, but we do have a comment from Miss Ingrid Nito. I hope that's how you say it. It's wonderful.
Beautiful.
listening and learning to you both today. Thank you.
Well, I'm so appreciate the comment, and hopefully you're taking some lovely tools away with you or skills, and it's just a joy.
Yes, thank you so much. So here's my comment. So let's just role play that compliment that I was given, about I motivated the person to work harder. So what I did say was, thank you. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, whatever, blah, 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 blithering. But then I said, how many classes have you taken? And she said, how many? And I said, how's your experience been? I could have said, I've taken a lot of classes and I'd be happy to speak with you if I could help you in any way to get stronger. But I didn't say anything like that because I don't work for the company. So I thought, who am I to throw that out there?
I think one of the fundamental aspects of life is what can I do for an individual? If I can help you in any way, reach out to me. If I can, I will help you. If I can't, then I'll say, look, that's not my area of expertise. But it even goes beyond that. It's having a what can I do for you attitude in this world. How can we support one another? And despite the fact that you don't work for the gymnasium that you attend, you might be a regular there, it's still just offering, it's still handing the olive branch and saying to someone, look, if you need any guidance or steering, I'd be more than happy to help you. And what was beautiful about your reciprocation with this lady was you didn't steamroll her, and you weren't brash about your answer, and you didn't sort of almost steal her thunder. That a lot of the time people can do that. It could be a situation where one person is sharing their experience, and then all of a sudden you steamroll them with your experience. And it's not really about you at the end of the day, it's about the person that you're connecting with.
Yes. I'm back here shaking my head going, that makes a lot of sense. If someone takes the time to give you a compliment, this has also happened to me. I'll give someone a compliment and then I feel like an idiot because of and that's my fault. It's on me how I react. But they didn't seem to take it in. That's how it looks on the outside. Of course, they could be insecure. They might feel that they're not worthy of it. I don't know. But I don't think we should have an expectation when we give a compliment, should we?
Not at all. Not at all. It's not, look, it can rapport build, absolutely. You can build lovely rapport with people because hopefully they'll remember the time or the day or that you paid a compliment. But again, it was just the other day going on the train, and there was just this couple in front of me, and they were chatting, and I just turned around to them and I said, you both got the most wonderful energy and smiles. And they were so tickled pink by that. And it wasn't a case of, their smiles caught me, it had a reaction, and I just had to share and pay them a compliment. And that was the end of it. They continued on their journey, and I continued on mine. And, we obviously all went in our separate ways. But for me, it is a nice way, if it's genuine, to break the ice with people. It really and truly is. As I said, as long as it's above board.
Yes, thank you. And because you brought up transportation, I just want to ask this question as well. I'm sure some of our audience has been in this experience. You're on a bus or a train, you're somewhere in the public domain, and somebody's talking really loud like this, and you're trying to get your work done. Do you turn around and say, I'm trying to work, would you please be quiet? Or what do you say? Or do you say nothing and you just start to you start to lose control of yourself and you have to calm yourself down and maybe just shut them out?
Look, it depends. Everything's about a situation. One doesn't want to give guidance and steering and you get bopped on the nose because they are very short-tempered or something like that. But I think choice of language is really important. You could tap it on the shoulder and say, please, may I ask you just to lower your voice? It really is very, very loud, and it's obviously upsetting the moment, or it's something along those sort of lines. And actually the other day there was a young man having a Zoom call on his phone on the train, and he was talking very, very loudly. One of the reasons being because I think he had his headphones in and he couldn't hear the sound of his own voice or the level of his voice. So I just popped him, tapped him on the shoulder and said, just keep it down, please. And he was very apologetic. Now, I was fortunate in that sort of situation. It could have been someone who was aggressive, and I've had that sort of experience as well. But I think turning that around, I think we all need to be situationally aware. A lot of us now have sort of don't really care about anyone else. And you're so clear on that, Dr. JACALYN. the lot of the time going from where I live into London, inevitably, not every time, but there's someone on the talking at the top of their voice. They're having an open Zoom call. They're sharing various different personal details, and it's overly loud. It's actually uncomfortably loud. So I think by using the correct polished language skills, please may I ask you just to lower your voice and just say thank you. You don't have to explain. Just say, please may I ask you just to lower your voice. And then leave it at that. And if they continue, say, please, I've asked you. And use tonality to sort of get your message across.
Great direction. Thank you so much. And also thank you for that disclaimer that each situation is different. And we obviously don't want anybody to start engaging because I've been in that situation too. I think I mentioned that at a different gym that I go to in the summer. And there's signs everywhere about no cell phone use. And people are having business conversations with information that I'm sure the other party doesn't want shared. They're on speakerphone walking around. And I think to myself, why are they at the gym taking this call? And then I thought, why am I getting triggered by it? And I think part of it was I didn't want to hear the conversation because it was a confidential call. And I felt bad for the other party not knowing. But anyway, I ended up learning how to block it out because it was really starting to irritate me time and time. It wasn't just one time. So what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, if you've got the ability to lock it out, then lock it out. But I feel, going back to this sort of scenario, people need to be more self-aware. And it's unfortunately, it's the world over that people are on their phones talking at the top of their voices. They don't care about anybody else. And they're not even thinking about anybody else. And it's just something that is just happening. They're not even aware that actually what they're doing could be upsetting someone or is intrusive in other people's quiet time or space. For example, I would, let's say, go back 30 years. Let's go back, I'll tell you when. Let's say the early 90s. Mobile cell phones weren't really popular, only really amongst the uber wealthy. They were just coming out, as bricks and those sort of things. And you very rarely hear someone talking at the top of their voice to themselves, which it looks like they're doing anyway now if they're on their phones. But even in public places, you wouldn't see someone walking the street holding a newspaper and banging and bumping into someone either. Nowadays, everyone's on their phones and you've got to say, excuse me, sorry. Oh, but I mean, I've seen people walk into poles because they're so focused. I've seen people nearly knocked down in the traffic because of their mobile phones. And I think we've got to learn to disconnect from that. I mean, this is a whole nother story. This is a whole in-depth conversation. But going back to your original point there, you go to the gym to escape. You don't necessarily want to be involved around someone who's on the telephone. You've just left your place of work so you can get a bit of R&R, peace and quiet, whatever you want to call it. And then someone is now invading your space or the space that everyone wants to come and have a bit of a wind down and disconnect. And I think this is where in society, we're all on this treadmill and it's all getting too frenetic. I want to, while we're on this particular subject, it's the same as litter. People littering, and we live in a beautiful suburb, and I take our beautiful dog for a walk or run every morning, and I'm absolutely appalled at the litter that is strewn around the streets, down the little lanes that have been tossed next to the railway line. And we're meant to be living in a first world. We're meant to be living in a country where people show respect and manners and that sort of thing. But it is absolutely diabolical. And I had a real rant about this today to one of my colleagues, because people have got to walk down and around these places. And you happy to walk around the litter that you might have thrown on the floor? Well, I wonder how they're living at home and how do they orchestrate themselves in their own personal spaces? And why do people feel that they can just drop litter? Do they think it's someone else's job to pick it up? So again, that's just food for thought. If anyone wants to give any views on that, I'm the first one who would love to know how one circumvents and stops people littering.
That's a great point. Also, we have discussions about that on Fridays with Pet Psychic Amina. She's all about sustainability and coexistence, and she talks a lot about just pick it up. You can go wash your hands later. And I think that we're all accountable. It's not somebody else's job. And we have the luxury and the privilege of being here on this planet. And we need to leave a planet for others who come after us so that it's a place where they can live and it's not continuing to go downhill. So that's my comment on that. I also wanted to mention about the talking on the phone. The other day, I was out for a walk. It was a beautiful day. And there's a guy walking towards me and he's on the phone on speaker. Yes, my credit card number is, And it proceeds to give the whole number. Now, I have a good memory. I could have just written it like, why? Why are you giving your phone number, I mean, your credit card number out in public? But people just don't think about these things.
Not at all. It happens regularly on the train. Absolutely. And yeah, you hear the most funny and mind-blowingly impersonal stories as well. And it's actually extraordinary.
And what I think is really ironic, and I'd love for you to weigh in on this as well. When I used to travel all the time, I would be at the airport gate and you have people who are either arguing with each other or they're talking really loudly, and I'm trying to stay as far away. I get on the plane, I'm sitting right next to them. It's always,
that can't be the law of attraction. That's not the law. That's the law of attraction who's got a sense of humor. Oh, Dr. Jacqueline, I know. Well, I tell you, that sort of situation, hopefully there's a spare seat somewhere on the aircraft and you can move.
Definitely, definitely. Well, you shared a lot of really great insights and stories today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We are out of time. So I hate when the show comes to an end because it's so much fun with you.
Always great fun. Got to bring some energy, bit of banter, sense of humor, and hopefully there were some takeaways from our conversation today. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. But before you go, I would love you to share with our audience a little bit about this upcoming event on February the 8th with Felicia Kay. She was just here last week with us.
This is an amazing woman. I mean, has an incredible story and journey. Not all plain sailing, that's for sure. But this is one you can just see by her face and her energy. She's absolutely outstanding. Her energy is phenomenal, and her area of relationships is extraordinary. And she came on Train the Trainer, a woman who's always growing her knowledge, surrounding herself with amazing people. And Felicia's going to give you some great sort of insights and tools on how we can be better as human beings, but not only that, better to one another and connect on a very dynamic and deep level. And it's just going to be a great show together. It really and truly is. And I'm really excited. I don't wish time away, but I'm so looking forward to this show with Felicia Kay.
Thank you so much. And for any of you who missed the show with Felicia last week, please go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and the playlist is there for Etiquette, the Power of Etiquette Matters. You can see all of our shows right there, as well as the rest of the fabulous shows. We have 27 shows this week, Philip.
Beg your pardon, it's what this week?
We have 27 shows this week.
Oh my word, that is just extraordinary. 27 shows. I don't know where you find time to go to the gym, let alone sleep, let alone visit your mum. Yeah, you juggle many balls. But they always say in life, you want anything to get done, give it to a female jet. I'm joking, but that's true. But you give it to a busy person, and that definitely gives you the opportunity to take on so much, Dr. Jacqueline, and you always bring that energy, that A game. So I applaud you. And this is, you know, when we, as you said, when we did the reunion show, it's all wonderful being in the front of the camera and engaging and connecting and sharing. But this is genuine work. Takes a lot of preparation. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes. This is not just click a switch and we're ready for action. There's so much preparation. And I think that's something that we all need to take into account. Whether you go to a lovely restaurant or whether you watch something like this or you go into a retail store, there's preparation behind the scenes, a lot of preparation and a lot of man hours and a lot of talent and a lot of experience that comes to make it all, bring it together and make it happen.
Yes, and thank you for that. And I just happen to have my clipboard. I write everything down. So for this week, I have probably 10 pages of things that I am doing. And then I go down and I cross them off as I go. It's such a good feeling. But before we go, I want to share the fact that you are a big part of our next book that's coming out March 26th when I turn 60. Yay. The book is Lady Ella Has Afternoon Tea in London. And you and Leanne are characters in the book. So you are the giraffe and Leanne is the cat. So tell us a little bit about the giraffe, why you chose this and your name.
The giraffe. I love it. Well, hopefully Gerald, the giraffe, is going to be able to guide and steer the little Lady Ella, who happens to be that gorgeous little butterfly, ladybird, a coccinelle in French. And it's going to take Lady Ella on a little afternoon tea etiquette journey of what's acceptable and what's not so acceptable, and the little nuances that are attached to afternoon tea, and where did it all start, and where is afternoon tea today as a popular pastime. I mean, afternoon tea has become such an amazing experience globally, and people seem to have this incredible fascination about English afternoon tea. And in this book, we're going to bring some little things to life on giving little Lady Ella the guidance and steering that she would require if she goes anywhere in the world to have afternoon tea.
Yes, I'm super excited as you, as Gerard, are the consultant for this book, for the proper etiquette for afternoon tea. So you will be working with Lady Ella to teach the other animals what it is they need to know. And of course, one of the animals is not going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're going to be learning a lesson, as are the rest of the animals. So.
I wonder which one that's going to be.
I can't say.
Is that going to be pouring the cream, or is that going to be the wicked little fox, or who knows?
We can't say right now. So we want people to order the book. You can go over and pre-order today over on Amazon. So thank you, Mr. Sykes, again. And please share your contact information and maybe just a quick reminder of the upcoming courses that are in the very near future.
Certainly, contact information, hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. You can always reach out to us via our website as well. There's a contact form. You can sign up to our newsletter and you don't get spammed on any level. It's wonderful. We've got incredible people in our team that are as passionate as we all are in this sector, in our organization, who write the most wonderful articles. Huge research goes into it. So sign up through the britishschoolofexcellence.com website. Next week is the Train the Trainer. Next week, Friday, we're going to have some of our Train the Trainer students on the show. So you'll get to meet some of the students on the show next Friday. And then there are, well, again, look at the website for dates on the various courses that are coming up. And something I want to share with you, we're getting a landing page put together, but in June, we are offering an experience, London experience, an immersion into wonderful things in London, along with some coaching and training. But we're going to be doing the Ascot race course on Ladies' Day. We've got an amazing train journey planned on the Belmont train, which is the old royal train, the royal that belonged, or the royal family always traveled on. And we're going to travel down to Bath. We're going to be able to go around this beautiful Roman town that is where, it's funny enough, it's got the most incredible architecture. It's where one of the period dramas was filmed, and there's the Pride and Prejudice. Audrey Hepburn? No, not Audrey Hepburn. Come on, Philip. Who wrote Pride and Prejudice? I'm having a bit of a moment here. It'll come back to me. But we go to the museum there, and then we're going to be having afternoon tea at the Ritz and so forth. And it's going to be the most wonderful sort of week of an experience in the United Kingdom in London.
I can't wait to hear more about this. Do you know what the dates are yet?
It's going to be, from memory, around the 22nd of February, give or take, whatever that Monday is. Might be the June, on the 21st of June for that particular week.
Okay, there you have it. I would love to be there. Maybe I can. We'll see.
Come on, let's make it happen. Broadcast from all these amazing venues, and where the Bath scene is where Bridgerton was filmed. A lot of there's that lovely period drama Bridgerton. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's fun, a little bit of tongue in cheek, and it's really a worthwhile sort of Netflix series. That it's light, it's a lot of fun, and the decor is beautiful. The dresses are extraordinary. Go back to that sort of era and period. So there's lots of incredible history and things to do on this particular journey and in this week that we're putting together. Last year, we had a group all the way from Brazil through Patricia, who's been on here before, our partner and representative in Sao Paulo. She brought over 10 incredible women who'd been through a whole etiquette program, and the creme de la creme was coming to London, and we immersed into them. We went to Lock & Co., which is the Queen's Hatters that's been around since the 1600s. And you can just imagine the delight on these incredible ladies' faces. The journey, the experience was just phenomenal.
I remember seeing some of the pictures and I thought, wow, this is like a once in a lifetime event opportunity. And here it is again, coming very soon. So we'll look forward to that landing page, and I'm sure it's going to sell out very quickly.
And I remember the beautiful museum is Jane Austen. So Jane Austen's museum, it is just exquisite. It really is. They take you on a little journey back into her era, and they've got a lot of little surprises in the museum, and it's so beautifully done.
As soon as that landing page goes up, let us know.
I absolutely will.
Thank you so much, Philip, and thank you to each and every one of you. We do have another comment. Let me just share from Miss Ingrid Nito. Thanks for doing what you do, Philip.
Thank you so much.
Very nice.
It's a absolute joy. It really is.
All right, everyone. Thank you for being with us. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Our next show is coming up, Fashion, Travel, and Fitness with the lovely Diane Floyd-Bame, and we'll be talking about and showing hairstyles throughout the year. So get ready for some laughs there.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too. Have a brilliant weekend, and I look forward to chatting with you very soon.
Wonderful.
Bye, everyone.